This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cageside Press, and I am here with undefeated prospect who will be making his lightweight debut at Bellator 272 on December 3rd. It is the Maori kid, JJ Wilson. JJ, first of all, obviously another big fight coming up. Just talk to me. How are you feeling and how are you doing?
I'm feeling amazing for this fight. Weight's good. I'm feeling good. Training's amazing. I can't wait to get out there and put on a show for everyone.
I have to obviously work chronologically. I think a lot of people just have questions. Big fight with Adam Borics in about August or so. Called off at the last minute. You did make the statement that said you'd had some pretty serious health complications. What can you tell us about that last weight cut to 145 that just called that big fight off?
I was looking forward for that fight. That fight was, after that fight, I was one step away from my dream, of being a world champion. So it wasn't something that was taken lightly. I was trying to make weight, and I winded up blacking out in the sauna, and passing out in the sauna, and dry heaving, and a lot of bad things that my coaches were like, you can't do this anymore. The next step is you die, right? So so that's when they called off the weight cut. I didn't want to tell anyone that, because I was hoping that we could still fight. I was hoping that he would still take the fight and that we could still run it, but that wasn't the case. So
well, I mean, we've certainly talked about this. You are a growing guy. You're also a pretty tall athlete for the featherweight division. So a lot of people always thought that you're probably going to end up at lightweight sooner or later anyway. Can we talk about it though? How's your health feeling? How's your body feeling as you're now making the move up to 155?
Usually when I'm this far out, when I'm 10 days out from the fight day, I'm starting to feel a lot weaker. I'm starting to feel a lot more drained during training sessions. But, right now I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling the same I felt the whole way through the whole entire camp. So, I can feel the difference already in my training that this move has done.
Can I also ask you, what is your plan necessarily as, the next couple of years play out in terms of building up physically? Because we've seen guys like, for example, Dustin Poirier. You don't exactly become that solid, powerful lightweight from featherweight overnight or even in a few months. It takes a little bit of time. Can you talk a little bit about your plan as obviously you look to stay active with fights?
It's more my strength regime. I can put more time into lifting heavier, where before I couldn't lift heavier, because if I lift heavier, it means I put on weight, I put on muscle. So it was more I can in my strength training, I can just start to lift heavier weights. I can start to go heavier and heavier and heavier instead of staying at the same weight, so I don't put on muscle. So that's one of the big adjustments I'm going to be making. And also being able to eat more, so that's it. I can lift heavier and I can eat more, and that's how my plan is to put on more weight.
Now, a little ironically, before your last fight, there was a lot of big stuff going on in the featherweight division. This time, there's a new champion in the lightweight division. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because obviously, you're still a guy with championship ambitions. What did you think of the rematch with Peter Queally and Tricky, and just, your path now in the lightweight division?
When I was climbing the featherweight division, the champ was Patricio. And now it's still another pit bull. It's Patricky. So it's almost the same thing as when I was back in the featherweight division. Now the guys are just a little bit bigger. I personally think Patricky is just a little bit slower than Patricio. So, but he's a lot heavy-handed. He's a lot heavier-handed than Patricio. So, that was a good fight that he came out there and he put him away. It was an amazing fight. I thought it was an amazing fight. But I'm looking forward to this division. I'm looking forward to these heavy hitters. I'm looking forward to getting in there and swinging with them.
I know you've obviously got business at hand coming up on the 3rd, but I mean, obviously it's a new cast of characters, right? I mean, you got the guys like Brent Primus, like Islam, like, these former champions and all that out there. What are your thoughts on just, some of the guys you would like to face in the lightweight division?
Um, I'm excited to fight quite a lot of them. First I want to get through Alfie Davis, and then I want to fight Gonzalez. What's his name? No, I can't
And
say his name.
with
Fight
that,
him.
but yes.
I think that would be an amazing fight, me and him to go at it and demonstrate some pure jiu-jitsu. I think that'll be a great fight. And then after that I want to fight Khabib's cousin. Go out there and fight him, and then after that I want to, if I beat all those guys, then I'm in line for a title shot.
How long have you been in San Diego? I think I missed that
I've
one.
lived here in San Diego for about 4 years now. I relocated
Oh,
down here a long time ago.
all right. Do you still make it back out to New Zealand a lot, or with lockdowns, have you been unable to go back home?
With lockdowns, I've been unable to go back home. But
Oh, man.
prior to the COVID, I was going back, twice a year. But because of COVID, I haven't been able to go back.
Can I get your take on it then? I mean, you hear about guys like Dan Hooker and, the city kickboxing, they're talking about they have to make an entire change. I mean, obviously, being in the States, it's not affecting you quite as directly, but I'm assuming you must feel for a lot of your countrymen and your guys out there. Just what about everything going on that it's now hindering other fighters' careers not being able to
You
come
know,
over and participate because of the lottery system and everything going on?
a lot of them have made the move over here. Like Dan Hooker has moved over here pretty much. Israel was planning to move over here. These guys are gonna leave our country because the laws are not letting them do their job. Their job is to fight, and if they go and fight, they have to. Some of them not even, you have to be vaccinated to leave the country pretty much soon, and a lot of them, they have their own beliefs. They don't want to get vaccinated, so they're not even going to be allowed to leave the country. So it's like, yeah, my opinion is it's hindering their careers. It's bad. Like, so now that they're moving here so they can actually fight, I'm happy for them, but at the same time I'm sad that to see the fighters having to leave New Zealand just to be able to put food on the table for their kids. Now it's like different from them just fighting. You're affecting their lives with their families, their wives, their kids. They can't provide for their kids because they can't go and fight because of some political standpoint. It sucks.
Can I ask, obviously everyone's going to do what's best for them, but if there are any New Zealanders maybe looking at you and thinking, maybe San Diego, would you like to make a pitch to anybody to say how life is pretty good over here in California?
California is amazing, especially down here in San Diego. The sun is always shining. You know what I mean? It rains never, barely ever. It's amazing. Training here is amazing. Everything is great. So you guys wanna get away? You guys wanna move to a new place? San Diego is the best place. And then we'll create a massive MMA team right here.
There you go. JJ, so let's talk about it. Lightweight debut in Bellator, taking on Alfie Davis. Not quite, the biggest name maybe compared to, obviously an eliminator at featherweight. So what are your thoughts on him and what he brings to the table as an opponent overall?
I think he's a creative fighter. I think he's explosive and he likes to do flashy moves. But yeah, that's about it. He just likes to spin and go crazy. So.
And then finally, just obviously a lot of fans are going to be like, hey, like what can we expect from JJ at 155? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? What's your message to the people who are going to be tuning in for the final Bellator event of the year?
You guys always see me come out, finish fight after fight after fight. So, expect the same thing at 155. Now I'm bigger, I'm heavier, I got heavier hands, I'm a lot stronger. So expect what you saw at 145, but 10 times better.
Well, JJ, I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. Obviously, we're worried about you when you talk about you have some serious things happen in the last weight cut. So definitely glad to see that you're just doing well and healthy. I know a lot of fans are looking forward to seeing what you're going to bring in the cage. So thank you for the time and best of luck. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, JJ Wilson taking on Alfie Davis at Bellator 272 on December 3rd. You are not going to want to miss it.
Hey.